Hello everybody, welcome back for another video. Hope you're all doing well and that you're all having a great day. As always, a fun way to support the channel is by leaving a like, by leaving a comment, or by subscribing if you have not already done so. New NFT drop is happening right after this video. For those of you who are interested, there is a link in the description below. And without further ado, let's jump right into it. For those of you who are unaware, the cryptocurrency market is in green. It's a very healthy, nice green. It says Bitcoin briefly soared above $39,000 for the first time since the 16th of June and is currently trading its sixth consecutive day in the green. Bitcoin's price has been green since the 21st of July, with Sunday's current price rise representing the largest daily gain in over 6 weeks. The chart looked absolutely insane. I woke up, looked at the prices, and I wrote it on Twitter as well, which I'll show you in a second. I thought something was wrong with my phone, and I thought something was wrong with the website. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would that have actually happened? The world's leading cryptocurrency is changing hands around 38,400, depending on the moment you look at it. There's a lot of fluctuations, a lot of heat in the market. People are just waking up, trying to figure out exactly what's going on. People are buying into the market. It's a whole bunch of stuff happening. Having cooled slightly after hitting a monthly high of I saw it hit $40,000 on some websites. It's usually like a bit of a price discrepancy depending on where you go. Crypto short positions worth $883 million were liquidated over the past 12 hours amid Bitcoin's 12% price breakout. Here's what the charts look like. This is what I'm talking about. I made sure to take a screenshot. I would just be able to show everyone because I was like, what? Because you've looked at a website before and you're like, something's not right. You go back later on and, kind of corrects itself, but nope, lo and behold, prices shot up. So here's how it started. Just for some reference, e-commerce giant Amazon is dipping its finger. Oh, that's a terrible sentence. Is dipping its toes into the crypto and blockchain worlds as it posted an ad looking to hire a new executive to oversee their digital currency strategy. About 3, 4, 5 months ago, roughly around that time frame, we started getting news that Amazon and Apple were thinking of getting into the cryptocurrency space. I think Apple was because they had posted a job listing link or something like that, and now Amazon was doing the exact same. The position is for a digital currency and blockchain product lead who wants to innovate on behalf of customers within the payments and financial systems of Amazon. The company's payment acceptance and experience team is looking for an experienced product leader who will work on developing Amazon's digital currency and blockchain strategy and product roadmap. They will be required to work closely with teams across Amazon to develop the roadmap, including the customer experience, technical strategy, and capabilities, as well as the launch strategy. So the news had been even further back that when Facebook had first announced that they were going to be launching their own digital currency, that every other company was going to do the exact same thing. What ended up happening is that regulators jumped down Facebook's throat. And I mean, basically tore them apart. They were like, you can't do this. You can't have a stablecoin. You can't have anything that mimics or associated with the US dollar. And the news that we got about any other company following behind Facebook was completely silent. So what I assumed happened is that these plans were continuing to still take place, but they just simply made sure to actually talk to regulators, meaning Amazon and Apple, and basically say, hey, this is what we want to do. Tell us exactly what we need in order to be regulated, if you will. I believe this is, here's the actual job listing right here. Digital currency and blockchain product lead. I'm going to apply right now. That's a joke. Anyway, so what happened was, for those of you who are wondering why prices are actually up, an anonymous source within Amazon has reportedly told London business newspaper City AM that the e-commerce giant is planning to accept Bitcoin payments by the end of this year, probably setting the stage for broader mainstream acceptance of crypto transactions. They said this isn't just going through the motions to set up cryptocurrency payment solutions at some point in the future. It's a full-on, well-discussed, integral part of the future mechanism of how Amazon will work, the anonymous source told City AM, according to a report published on Sunday. Now, if you've been here for the last couple of years, you know that, luckily, we have a pretty good winning streak within the cryptocurrency space. Whenever there's an anonymous source telling us something, and I mean this in like the most honest way possible. 99% of the time, it's accurate. And usually the following week is when we get the actual news. These leaks, if you will, are all planned. It's the same exact thing like with Apple. They always like have a leak of the next iPhone that's coming out in like 4 weeks. Or like, remember, for those of you who, anyway, getting off topic, but the point is there was once where someone like found an iPhone in an establishment of some sort, and they were like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe it. This is the next iPhone 9. Oh my gosh, I happen to find one it's like, you know, I assume that Amazon is large enough to know that where to, you know, leak the news and all these kind of other things. Anyway, she indicated that while Bitcoin is the first step in Amazon's crypto ambitions, executives at the company were keen to add other established cryptocurrencies in the future. She said the directive is coming from the very top. Referring to Mr. Bezos, she said the entire project is pretty much ready to roll. I expect nothing less. I think it would be insanely weird and insanely odd if Amazon and Apple and even eBay and every other place weren't planning on allowing people to pay in cryptocurrency in some other form or fashion. We have seen every single day the levels of adoption of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies from institutions, banks, etc., etc., etc. I highly doubt that Amazon, seeing this clear trend of Bitcoin's adoption, usage, and also price, especially if they can benefit from this as well, that they would have any point been like, no, I don't like Bitcoin. Of course they're going to add Bitcoin. It's just a matter of when at this point. So this is the news, is that Amazon not only plans on accepting Bitcoin some from either today until the end of the year, they also plan on adding other cryptocurrencies, which is, of course, going to be a thing as well. I would assume they're probably going to add Ether as well. Maybe Litecoin and maybe some other like legacy coins that have been around for a very long time as like an actual, you know, putting your foot in the pool, but not the entire body to make sure to see if these coins are popular enough to be able to add other coins. And then also we should also just completely expect that every other major company is going to have their own stable coin as well. The idea being, if there is an Amazon coin and they say, hey, you see this book that you want to buy that's $10.99? Well, if you use Amazon coin, you get 20% off on weekends or Amazon Day or some other thing like that. This causes adoption. More people start to use it. The entire idea of Amazon also is just to get people to only use Amazon. Like you have to go, you don't have to go, quotes, anywhere else. You can buy everything from them. They even have their own grocery stores and et cetera, et cetera. So yes, very popular news. Here's the actual first article from City AM. Amazon definitely lining up Bitcoin payments and tokens, confirms Insider. This news is everywhere. Everyone completely lost their mind. It says Bitcoin price is nearing $40,000 mark after a rough ride. I don't even think the rough ride was actually even real. We spoke about that before. It's impossible for us to have this level of adoption every single day. All these banks adopting, all these banks buying, all these banks doing all these other things, all these ETFs, ETNs, and ETPs, almost activating, being allowed in other countries, and these funds buying up all these cryptocurrencies, and to have us falling in price, it's nonsense. Like, I think this movement up that we have today is what we should be having every single day, just based off of, also for those of you who were not here sometime last week, we have actual numbers. There's only 7, so out of the entire supply of Bitcoin, 100%, only 7% is actually left on cryptocurrency exchanges for people to buy. 7%. There are billions of people on the planet who have no Bitcoin at all. There are tons of people in the cryptocurrency market right now who are continuously buying every single day. 7% left. I'm sure you can find the article. I don't have it up here, just popped into my head, but I'm pretty sure you can find it as a reference. Amazon to integrate Bitcoin payments. Bitcoin makes a massive run for $40,000 as investor sentiment shoots up. Everyone was pretty much quite optimistic anyway. I'm sorry if I'm screaming or like talking too fast. Everyone was already quite, hyped, if you will, about the cryptocurrency market. It was mainly brand new people in the market who kind of had like a down kind of sentiment. And also some people writing articles who, just were making sure that there was negativity in the market. But besides that, everyone has been pretty much hyped, and I think this is clearly indicative of where our market should be going. There's also news of like short positions being completely wiped out. People who were betting against the price of Bitcoin, they've been washed away in the great crypto flood, if you will. And what's this one? Yep. Cardano, Dogecoin, and Chainlink lead gains as crypto markets jump. I think Bitcoin went up by 13%, and I think Cardano, Dogecoin, and Chainlink were also by 11, 12, 13% as well. There were some other coins, but they were like in the top 30 and top 40 that had like 20% gains. But those are those really weird DeFi coins that have like 3 million trading volume. So, you know, it could kind of be anything. Yeah, that's the major news of the day. It is allegedly clear as to why the market went up. I don't assume it would have been anything else. But let's see where this goes. It's obvious that Amazon is going to be accepting cryptocurrencies as payments at some point during this year. I'm pretty sure Facebook Coin is also launching sometime this year as well. And I would assume Amazon is either going to, I mean, once again, only one of two ways. They're either going to make sure to announce it the day before they know that Facebook is going to do it, so Facebook just kind of looks completely ridiculous, or they'll wait till Facebook does it. They wait like a week for that hype to kind of die down, and then they go, well, you know, Amazon's doing it now, and we're also accepting it as a currency, and we're also doing this, and if you pay in cryptocurrency, this, you know, that they have a lot more wiggle room. That's the Amazon news. That's the why the price is shot up today news. And let's move on. Next up, in super popular news, but I think it's just because of logic at this point, crypto derivatives exchange FTX has decided to curb risky trading by limiting the leverage available to its users. The exchange, founded by Sam Bankman-Fried, has reduced the maximum leverage available on the platform down to 20x. A significant reduction from its previous 101x. That's nonsense. First of all, no one should be trading with that much leverage in the first place. Sorry, I'm kind of frazzled today. If you had to notice, there's so many people keep using leverage to trade, and they don't even have the money to pay back. There was news sometime like a year ago. There was this guy, he was doing leverage trading, and I mean, like, he was really like pushing it, and there was another situation where the market went up or down. I forgot exactly what the situation was, but I think he lost $5.8 million. So, yeah. In a 25th of July tweet announcing the updated leverage limits, Bankman-Fried said that the decision was made in light of the exchange's efforts to encourage responsible trading, because no one should be trading with 100x leverage. Even 20x is insane. There's so many people who are new to the cryptocurrency market, who are listening to, and I'm sure you've seen them as well, these people on Instagram who are like, bro, here's how you make money. When the market's in green, you got to buy. The moment you see red, you got to sell it. And that's not how trading actually works, but these people end up getting super popular. And these people learn about leverage trading for about 8.5 minutes. They jump into it, throw all this money into it, try to leverage their positions, and have nothing, and then are completely wiped out of the market. And this is why we keep hearing news stories of regulators jumping in. For those of you who haven't figured it out, this is probably a regulatory instance. Because so many people, what happens is, for those of you who also haven't noticed, remember a couple of weeks ago, what's that Dragon's Den, Lion's Den, Bear's Den, the O'Leary guy, whatever his name is, he was allegedly, so saith the internet, allegedly bragging online about how much money he had made from DeFi, yield farming, and making all this money, and DeFi is the next big thing, and DeFi is going to take over the world, and DeFi is going to so-and-so. And then at some point, I think the token that he was using was hacked, or there was something happened, or I think it went to I think it was like a flash crash. Something took place. And the news was that he lost millions of dollars. And the very next day he came forward and was like, I think we should regulate cryptocurrencies, stable coins, and DeFi need to be regulated. It's like, yeah, because you lost. When you're winning, everyone's, completely euphoric. But the moment you start losing some money, this is when everyone's like, well, I don't understand. Where were the regulators? It's the same exact thing for this. People were making tons of money from around October, November to around May, June, somewhere around that time frame when we were pumping up in price. Everyone's making huge money. No one wants to hear the word regulation until they start losing money, and then they go, what? Who's going to pay me back my $3 million? So this is what's currently happening right now. No one should be doing ever 100x leverage. Like, that is just absolutely insane. Tying directly into this news, Binance, The world's largest crypto exchange by trading volume is reducing the maximum leverage users can use to trade futures contracts. Hello. A day after derivatives exchange FTX announced the same change. I'm assumptioning it has to do with regulators behind the scenes who were like, listen, we've gotten 3,000 bajillion complaints. Please lower this a tiny bit. And first of all, if anyone's even using leverage, especially even if it's just 20x leverage, there should be like an actual course you have to take. It's like this is the equivalent of you being able to imagine you have no money in your bank account. None, zero. Just, for the story. You have no money in your bank account. You walk into the bank and say, hey, there's a really nice $1 million property downtown that I want to buy. And the bank goes, hold on. Sure, here's the money. Yeah, see, that doesn't make any sense. And then you use all that money to go buy the property, but you have no money to pay property taxes. You have no backup money on top of that. You have no idea what you're doing. You have a 100% mortgage with a fluctuating interest rate. It's nonsense. People keep getting into the market. First of all, there are tons of people who take out mortgages who actually don't even know how to take out mortgages or how to pay it back, or that when they buy a house that they have to pay for water, gas, lighting, and all this other stuff. And oh boy. So the news is, yes, they're scaling it back because I'm sure they've gotten so many instances where people have completely lost their minds. Like, just stick to normal crypto trading, and even that, just please do your own research and don't just jump into the market. All right, I'm already half exhausted. The video's not even over. Anyway, that's all the leverage trading news because this was everywhere, and because it's popular. Let's move on. Next up, I don't know if you can see this chart right here. It looks amazing. You should be able to see. I don't think I cropped off the sides that much. This is how it should be every single day at this point. Jack Dorsey, who runs Twitter and Square, has been a consistent ally to Bitcoin. Now the tech entrepreneur has discussed big plans to integrate Bitcoin, an asset he believes will become the currency of the internet. During Twitter's second quarter earnings call on Thursday, Dorsey began by telling shareholders that he sees Bitcoin being a big part of the firm's future, owning to its potential to revolutionize some of Twitter's services and products. He noted several opportunities to integrate Bitcoin into existing Twitter services such as subscriptions, commerce, and new features like super follows and a tip jar. Besides AI and decentralization, the Twitter chief indicated that Bitcoin is the other main trend for the firm's future, adding, I think it's hugely important to Twitter and to Twitter shareholders that we continue to look to the space and invest aggressively in it. First of all, Jack Dorsey loves Bitcoin. He mentioned before about integrating Bitcoin into Twitter in some sort of way, and I guess now we know it'll be part of subscriptions. Commerce, does Twitter have a portion where you can buy things? It says commerce, unless Twitter's making their own Visa card, which I think would be kind of weird. I don't think Twitter has a marketplace. And something called super follows, I don't even want to know what that is at this point, and a tip jar. But we're going to need Lightning Network, which Jack Dorsey is also an advocate of as well. So this was also popular. I don't know if it's the reiteration simply, i.e. we know that Jack Dorsey loves Bitcoin. But for some reason, it's like 2 days later, people forget that he loves Bitcoin and he has to re-say something about him loving Bitcoin for people to be like, oh, it's back on. Jack Dorsey is probably half Bitcoin himself at this point. He really thinks is like the greatest thing ever created. Anyway, that's the Jack Dorsey big part. There's a stick figure robot putting a puzzle together news. And yeah, let's move on. Next up, you should all be surprised at this news, and that was sarcasm, so don't be surprised by the news. The second biggest bank in the United States has agreed to allow Bitcoin futures trading. What? Which made it one of the very few to do so. This is a sign of the increasing influence of Bitcoin in the monetary system. No, these people know exactly what they're doing. Bank of America is following the footsteps or the day steps of JP Morgan Chase, who just announced sometime at the end of last week that they were also allowing their wealthiest clients to be able to buy into the market. And now Bank of America realized that they took, a day and a half too late to be able to announce the exact same news. So not much news here. other than the fact that banks are definitely into Bitcoin. They're buying tons of Bitcoin. And what you do is you give them a derivative product that has nothing to do with Bitcoin at all, because it's also, I'm probably sure it's going to be based in US dollars. But as this gets more people into the market and Bitcoin's price goes up, the bank ends up benefiting more than the people who are, dealing with paper Bitcoin, if you will. So Bank of America is now in officially the cryptocurrency space. None of you should be surprised. I'm assuming other banks are going to come out of the woodworks in the next couple of days and announce the exact same thing, because the way that it happens is the biggest bank does it, the second biggest bank does it, and then everyone else says the exact same thing. And then eventually all banks have Bitcoin futures. And if your bank doesn't have Bitcoin futures, well, why are you using that bank in the first place? The next step right now, and this has to happen by the end of the year, because I think they're just waiting for like a really good spike in the market, is basically them allowing people to physically buy Bitcoin in the actual banks, i.e. either through a fund of some sort, not the actual futures, or being like, hey, have you invested in Bitcoin for your retirement? And everyone's like, no, I have not. And then they go, well, we have this fund that gives you a 3% allocation and yada, 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 yada. We all know it's coming. Every single bank on the planet is into this. And if they're not, I read some article like 2 days ago, some bank in some country, not going to say the country, but they're known for corruption is the word I would use, who were like, yeah, nobody can use it, no banks can touch it, no so-and-so, but the government's going to look into it for the next 3 years. And I was like, that means the government's buying it, the government leaders own it, and you do not want anyone in your country touching it. So, corruption. Anyway, that's the Bank of America news, because, logic. And let's move on. Next up, also in quite popular news, government and business representatives have produced a roadmap to transform Ukraine into a leader in cryptocurrency integration. The authors of the new strategy want to see half of Ukrainians using digital currencies by 2024. The East European nation is expected to regulate its crypto space by the end of this year. As a country where cryptocurrencies have enjoyed a growing popularity, Ukraine now also has a strategy to develop its virtual asset market within the next 3 years. The plan has been presented by officials from the Ministry of Digital Transformation, other government institutions, and representatives of the private sector, Forklog has reported. The roadmap envisions various regulatory, educational, and infrastructural activities. Participants in the initiative have already established almost a dozen working groups to achieve a set of goals. One of the key areas they intend to focus efforts on is the introduction of a relevant legal terminology and the adoption of necessary bylaws. So within 3 years, rather by the end of this year, they'll have proper cryptocurrency laws. I don't think Ukraine has been one of the countries who has announced a central bank digital currency. I would not be shocked. I assume the integration of cryptocurrency means in some way being able to allow the payments to transfer back and forth through you. I do not assume that Ukraine as a country or a government is going to simply do or pull an El Salvador and simply go, Bitcoin is now the king of our country, if you will. So anyway, that's the Ukraine news. Is anyone surprised? No, of course not. I think one of the heads of the European Central Bank, I think he mentioned 2 days ago, I think there are now 83 countries who are planning on releasing their central bank digital currency in the next 2 or 3 years. They know where this is going. And you also know where this is going as well. This is why I think it's very important to actually keep track of the cryptocurrency space. If you've been watching every single day, I thank the heck out of you. But really, this is... If you've been here daily, you see this news. You see how intense it is all the time. Now, imagine if you weren't in the cryptocurrency space, you would have no idea that any of this was going on. The world is rapidly transitioning to an all digital, all cryptocurrency, all blockchain integrated in some sort of way kind of world. And I'm really glad that you're a part of it, because it's going to be a shock to a lot of people in 5 to 10 years who are going to be like, why didn't anyone tell me about this? The news is all over the place. You just have to want to find it. Anyway, that's Ukraine's news. Oh, wait, also, hold on. Here's the actual news article. I can't read it, but there it is. Let's move on. And to finish things off, and also this news is spreading like wildfire news, A portfolio strategist for American financial services firm Morningstar says that Cardano could become a mainstream cryptocurrency alongside Bitcoin and Ether, forming a big three of mainstream cryptocurrencies. Amy Arnott, whatever, a cryptocurrency-focused portfolio strategist at Morningstar, shared her views on crypto regulation, Ether, and Cardano in an interview with Insider last week, noting that since many cryptocurrencies are not cash-generating, Arnott said it's difficult to determine a suitable price for them. However, she explained that Ether has an inbuilt price to an extent because it is used to power decentralized finance transactions and support NFTs. She said, the fact that Ether is used as a utility should provide some sort of price floor, but I'm not sure what that should be. A lot of people talk about a network effect where those currencies have become more valuable as they are more used and are more why I know can read today. And there are more interdependencies and connections. It's not a word you see every day, to be completely fair. She also talked about Cardano. She said Cardano is similar to Ethereum and that it's a protocol that has a lot of potential technical applications. There's a lot of enthusiasm about Cardano and also various stable coins. We are near, ladies and gentlemen. We are near Ethereum's upgrade happening in, was it 7 or 8, 9 days? Somewhere, it's very close. We are near Cardano smart contracts. We have so many good things ahead of us. It's actually a bit amazing, if you will, to know that all these things are about to take place. I don't know why I always do this. There we go. Got it. Yes. Sorry, it was also long story. The point is, I believe now is the time, if that makes any sense to you. I think the market should continue doing well. I feel like that whole JP Morgan thing that we had like 2 weeks ago, where they were like, oh, Bitcoin just has to dip under 29. You know, no one's going to buy it until then. We dipped to 29,200, and now here we are jumping back up again. So let the good times roll. As always, a very special thank you to my Patreon supporters. Should I try and do it in one breath? I'm going to try and do it in one breath. Hold on. Professor Wally from Gunbite University, Stake It with Valor, Fudweiser, Mortified, Roman Gaber, Bitcoin, Ben Arachno, Dave, Tony Ambroski, The Dealers In, Red Plum Tomato, Umnu, Wish, Nikki, Letter, M, Stefan Dirk, Snot Brain, Captain Something in the Z-Way, Lay, Crypto, Black Sheep, AJ Cut 5, Speedy 655, and Carlos was like, Mobarazi, Jojo, Shasho, VB Nerd, 21, Miguel, Gole, Lauren De Silva, Quarter Bitty, Bare Bones, Mining, Troy, All Good, Space Case, Need a Miracle, no, Patrick Nasser, crap, actually got upset there, Conan, Don't Skip Leg Day, Snacky Chan, Tolik Banana, Auspicious Agile and Blockchain, Navarro Williams, David James, Attila the Han, Yasha Harari, Utopia 569, Moonman, High XRP, Martin Show, Nostromo, John Sarson, The Anima Reader, Bibliophobia, Todd Mullis, Adam Gray, Sigmo, Maroni, Massive Ventures in Thailand, Jared Schneider, Wise Night Owl, 242 to the World, Bankroll Network, Crypto Artist, Coldy 3D, Damien, Setsuna, Richard III, Vlad the Impaler, Paxis, Nick Man, Jellavodi, Jim Gardner, Jemmy Fox, Minting Coins, Miller Hitchess, Everything Cosby Like Day, Crypto, Big Boat Face, Anytime Fitness, Mars Gonna Staff, Bake Me a Cake, Tigger, Majanisa, Air. On Crypto with Lionel, Crayola, Michelle, URL, and Bolero Bastos. The first time I got upset because I was trying to scroll down in my thumb, you know, like when you scroll from the bottom of your phone screen, like the other pop-up comes up, and I was like, no, that's not what I needed. It was showing me the temperature and the time, and I was like, I need the names. So that's why okay, a little lightheaded. Thank you all very, very much for your support. Thank you to everyone who is a member of the channel. Thank you to everyone who left a like, who has subscribed, who left a comment or comments. Everyone in your own way who has supported the channel, who has helped me in any... I think I'm losing brain cells at this point. All right. At the moment, Bitcoin is at $38,192. It is up by 10.5%. Here's the move up. Here's the peak right here. And here's us slowly getting back to normal, if you will. I think the rest of the world is going to be waking up in about a good hour or two. So we'll see what ends up happening when everybody wakes up and sees that there's nothing but green on their phone. Dogecoin is up by 11%. Polkadot is up by 8.9%. Link is up by 13%. Wrapped Bitcoin is also up by 12% because that makes, Ethereum Classic is up by 10%. Matic is up by 14%. VeChain Thor is up by 18%. OKB is up by 13%. Aave is up by 12%. Luna is up by 11% as well. Anything else? Oh, AMP is up by 34%. That's definitely crazy. Neo's up by 9. IOTA is up by 9. Avalanche is up by 10 percentile points. It's nice to see. Let's see where the rest of the week takes us. I do hope that you all enjoyed. I do hope that you all are having a great day, a great morning, a great afternoon, a great evening, wherever you are, wherever you might be. I do hope that it is absolutely fantastic. Thank you all once again for watching and or listening, and I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See